Hey, everybody, this is Jeff. Welcome to the I Hate Critics movie review podcast. I have a little special Christmas extra for you. I recently sat down with my friend, Lynne Griffin, from the original 1974 Black Christmas for a conversation about that and all sorts of other stuff. You'll get to learn what audiobooks that we really love. Please forgive my ums, ers, and all the extra noises, as it's the first time I've ever recorded an interview and edited it myself. So, happy holidays, enjoy, and listen to us every week. Thanks a lot.
Now I get to see you hot off of just watching Black Christmas.
That's only the second time I've seen it all the way through in the theater.
Wow. Was the first time in Chicago?
Yes. Not last year when I met you, but a couple months before that. Because I didn't watch it the whole time because I had people at my table.
Yeah, I don't know when I've been able to sit and watch the whole time too, because for the same reason.
Yeah.
That, people are, so, because they just did a screening here, these people, I'm trying to remember what their name is now. Anyway, but Kenny Caperton, he rented the police station where the original Black Christmas was shot and did this whole event with, it was sort of like watching, when your dad put up a screen in the living room and we watched it there. The print was beautiful though, but that's the last time I saw bits and pieces of it was just a couple weeks ago.
I went with a friend of mine who whenever there's a kind of a re-release of something that we both like, we go to see it together. And I think the last one we saw was Friday the 13th Part 4.
Yeah.
Months ago. And I was like, I didn't know this was happening at Cinemark of all places.
Wow.
We have a new, it's called The Last Picture House. And have you seen the movie A Quiet Place?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The guys who wrote that movie are from here, from Davenport and Bettendorf, Iowa. And they opened up a theater here with a nice little bar. And it's where I got you. They directed Heretic and I got to see it there.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
They did a special screening of Maxine and things like that.
Oh yeah. Oh, Maxine.
I love those movies.
I'm just catching up on all these movies. Yeah, well, because, my husband Sean just worked with Mia Goff on Frankenstein, right? So we wanted to watch all of her films and we were just so enchanted by her.
She is so amazing.
Yeah.
The fact that she didn't get a nomination, at least for Pearl.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Pearl was fantastic.
That whole monologue at the end.
Yeah.
I sat there and I was like,
yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Well, maybe she'll get one for Frankenstein when it comes out.
I think she's really, really good.
But she's such a sweetie. She's such a, don't you love it when people are sort of unassuming and sweet and just down to earth? I mean, we sat at a table at the wrap party with Mia, Oscar Isaac, and Guillermo. I mean, pinch me.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of saying, oh, hi, and trying to introduce, who are you? We know Sean is in the movie with us, but who are you? Anyway, but, just so gracious and lovely and welcoming. It was very, very fun. And hopefully we'll see all these people again someday when the movie gets to the screens and there's a grand opening, a big old, screening of the film for the first time. It's very exciting.
And tell Sean if he wants to come and talk about it, we'll talk.
He wouldn't probably say no. He would probably say yes.
we're gonna talk about Who's That Girl again too, though.
Oh my God. Okay. And what else? I'm Back to the Future 3. What about Ski Patrol?
I could sit and talk to him about Leslie Jordan for.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Well, you'll have to you'll have to have a chat with Sean, someday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, like,
Like we said, we, one day we'll make a personal appearance and, we'll both be in wheelchairs and we'll roll on and say, this is me in Wayne's World. This is me in Stranger Brew.
Party time, excellent.
Oh, just put your face in for a minute. He's
party time, excellent.
I sing you again?
Hello, you. I have to run.
You're going to. It is fun to do this. And, I have a very limited amount of dear friends like you that we talk, on a regular basis. Well, regular as friends talk.
Semi-regular.
I mean, sometimes there's a year in between, and that's the same with my family as well. So, yeah, but it's nice to just, say, how are you? What's going on? It's been a really, truly crazy year. I think we're all going to agree on that.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to go see Black Christmas again tonight because
it's too much.
And I wore my sweater last night, which I think I'm going to wear again.
Oh, good. Good. Did you get, I mean, I think we have to do some research here because I wish I had asked either the costume designer then or Olivia herself why they picked that sweater with yellow pants.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why?
And I want to know if she wore the same, because it's a yellow butterfly collar underneath it.
Yeah.
And later in the movie, she's wearing just one of those 70s, almost like a bathing suit over it. And I wondered if it was the same shirt and she just didn't take it off, or they didn't have another one, or what.
I would imagine they probably only had one. I don't know. I mean, because first of all, where on earth did it come from? And who designed it? Well, I mean, this would be something that'd be really interesting to try and get to the bottom of it. I don't know how. I mean, I could ask Olivia, but I don't know that she would probably remember. But it's such an unusual because of where the hands are. And, Olivia was very well endowed, as we all know. And it just is sort of, but anyway, I mean, talk about that film having iconic things and images that you just can't. There's a girl that I know who came to one of the things who actually dresses up exactly like Olivia. She's got the yellow pants, she's got the sweater, she's got the collar, she's let her hair grow long. So it's long and black like that. And she is identical now. She's, able to do, Jess Bradshaw cosplay.
I decided, I made, I don't know if I showed these to you. I made, stickers and I did one of Patrick Cornell and in the Santa suit, and it just says ho, 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 shit. I decided I want to cosplay as him sometime. Get the big black afro and a Santa Claus suit with the janky beard and walk around and say, well, she said she was going to go away with me for the weekend. God damn it.
Well, I figure I should probably look into just getting a Claire outfit again, like a plaid skirt or a tartan kilt. I don't know and a green shirt.
Yeah.
Cause I go, I just wear a black Christmas t-shirt and God knows they're coming out of the woodwork and the posters right now coming out of the woodwork. Gorgeous posters, new posters. But,
anybody have you alive like on mine?
Huh?
Does anybody else draw you alive like mine?
I don't think anybody wants me alive. And now, like, even when I'm there and, I started this, so my own fault where I started putting a plastic bag on my head at these events. And then, people want a selfie, but they want me with the plastic bag on my head. They don't want me. And I oblige. What are we going to do?
Well, photo ops, everybody, that's the big thing at conventions. I do a lot of conventions where I go and sell my art. And they have the in-costume conventions. A lot of like photo ops a lot of the time. And I was like,
well, how do you know it's really like Kane Hodder under the Jason outfit? It could be anybody, you know?
Well, yeah. I mean, I remember going to one fan expo here, and it was like hilarious because it was so hot. It was in July. And there was a guy dressed up as the Monolith from 2001: A Space Odyssey.
So I don't cosplay that much, but some of the ones I sit at my table and.
I love to watch it all go by. If there's something that's particularly wonderful, then I ask for a selfie with them.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know,
I was also thinking about doing drag as Mrs. Mac.
oh. That would be pretty simple to do, actually.
Yeah. You get that, and
we'd have to get you one of those big flannel nighties, though.
Jesus, I wouldn't wear this to have my liver out.
Exactly.
I went with my friend Phil last night, and I said, she looks a lot like my Aunt Kathleen did in the 70s. With the hair.
With the hat. And
because he knows her daughter. Yeah.
The lipstick and thing.
You doing the lipstick. That reminded me. I'd never noticed it last night, but they were showing the 4K version.
Oh, yeah.
So I noticed that she'd always only put half of her lipstick on before she started yelling for the cat. Then she dumped her bag and they left. She comes back after being shopping all afternoon with only one part of her lipstick done. And I know that they filmed it right after, so.
Well, yeah, but I think also they were trying to suggest that Mrs. Mac might have a little bit of a drinking problem.
What? I never noticed
what?
that.
Say what now? I mean, it's when she pulls it out of the toilet tank that people go, oh, God.
I was with my friend Phil, and there was a guy in front of us who came up to me and we talked before the show because he saw my sweater and talking about horror movies and Tourist Trap and all that kind of stuff. And he said, my family has never seen this movie and they're all here visiting. So I brought them to see it. And I'm like, I am so jealous that they get to see it for the first time.
For the first time. In 4K, no less.
Yeah. And
wow.
They laughed so hard when she pulled that bottle out of the toilet. And I wish Marion Walton was still alive.
I wish Marion Walton was still alive. I wish Bob Clark was still alive.
Yes. Just, the conversations alone.
Oh.
So.
Well, it's funny because, my remembrance of Marion is she was actually quite shy and reserved. She certainly was playing a character that was unlike herself. And I think it was unlike what she normally was cast as well. So, a nice departure for her, but boy, talk about embracing completely. Well, that's Bob for you. Bob casts really well. And he saw something in Marion, cause I actually love watching her journey through Black Christmas a lot.
Oh yeah.
Cause Olivia. Okay. You're great. Watching it the last time, I was just going, how extraordinary Olivia's performance is. I don't think people really acknowledge it enough that her, manifestation of terror is phenomenal. It's so believable. It's so real and so, from the gut. It's really
throughout, really, just her phone call, the faces during the phone calls, she really, really does seem terrified.
And when he finally says to her, I know we're don't listen, people. This is be spoilers.
We say fuck, shit, damn, hell, whatever.
Oh no, but I just don't want to do too many spoilers.
Oh,
it's when she goes when the cop says, into the house, get out of the house, and she goes to the door, turns, and she screams Barb and Phil, and it's so gut wrenching. Mm-hmm. And then does the hair pull happen not long after that?
So I get chilled even thinking about it. And every time I've seen this movie 50 plus times over the years.
Wow.
And when she goes up and she breaks open the door and Margot and Andrea are laying on
Yeah.
and then you hear, yes, it's Billy. Don't.
Yeah.
And then you pan over and you see that eyeball. I get chilled every single time. Like literally every single time, even thinking about it. And when she pushes the door on him and runs, she's more resourceful than most final girls. Really.
Right. Well, and this is why, Jeff, I'm saying at the moment, what I'm finding wonderful is young women coming up to me at these screenings and saying how empowering for women they think that film is.
Mm-hmm.
Because that character of Jess Bradshaw really does, I mean, boy, does she stand up for herself. First of all, they remark on the fact that we made the film in end of 1973, released in 74. To talk about having an abortion at that time was absolutely not spoken of. It was not something. And so Bob, to have, the kind of prescient looking at where we are now and young women saying, in 1974, Jess Bradshaw said, I'm going to have an abortion. Now, the obvious thing that we're all laughing about now is because we've made the sequel that obviously she didn't have an abortion because now we have Sam and we have Sam and we have Nancy and we have a different Olivia, but we have a film that, I knew good. It's brilliant.
It was almost like she really embodied Olivia.
Yeah. Lisa. Yeah. And, we had Olivia signed up and it was just because of the damn SAG strike that, was happening at the same time. And they were waiting to see if the SAG would give her a release. And then I was just like, a nightmare. Anyway. But as it turned out, they very bravely went ahead and continued to make it. I'm really glad they did. And I'm glad that like a lot of people are watching it, especially now that we go, to put it up on YouTube for free. I mean, I'm handing out cards to everybody everywhere I go, say, please watch this.
Yeah.
And Sean and I are working on a project. Sean, I think we talked about this before. It's a little bit of a departure, but he wrote a play called The Slaughter Brothers Dime Circus. And do you remember, did you meet Richard Bergen in Chicago, a filmmaker? Maybe.
Yes, I think I have.
Anyway, we're collaborating now to try and make Slaughter Brothers into a film.
Oh.
Because we saw his film Fang and we went, oh, okay, this guy is amazing. Anyway, so all of that is happening at the same time. And Sean finally met with our cinematographer from It's Me, Billy, Greg Bennett, and he's going to shoot it. And he is brilliant. He's brilliant. I mean, just the quality of his cinematography and lighting was amazing. So, yeah, we're proud of that. I don't know how we got off topic from Black Christmas, but
it's all connected.
It's sort of all the same.
Yeah.
But just that, yes, I was talking about them saying how the young women coming up to me and saying that they love watching Black Christmas because of how strong that character is and how she handles herself. And even at the end when you go, oh, oops, was it Peter? Oops, no. You're still like really rooting for.
Yeah. I don't think there's even Barb in that movie is strong in her own way,
Oh yeah.
She's an emotional wreck. And so we were talking about It's Me, Billy, chapter 1 and 2, cause you're in chapter 2. And I have to say phenomenal.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, I'm not saying that just cause we're friends. I'm saying I finally watched it the other night and I was waiting for Christmas, like put it in my Christmas movie rotation. And I'm always a little, reticent with fan films because you just never know. I've seen some pretty the 13th movies, but I've seen some really excellent ones. And okay, I'm going into this completely blind. I don't want to know anything. And I'm like, I watched both back to back because I couldn't.
Oh, good.
I was just like, okay, wait, next one. They tried to get me to watch something else. I'm like, no, we're watching the next one. And you are really, really phenomenal. I mean, you're
Oh, thank you.
just so natural and,
Yeah, well, I had a great scene partner too.
oh yeah.
He was terrific. We just really clicked, the two of us. And also because, we were shooting and then that particular scene in the police station, in his office got delayed and delayed and delayed. And we were just so anxious to finally get it in the can and have a chance to really work on it. And I think both Dave and Bruce were really looking forward to actually like really directing a real dramatic scene. So, yeah, we really dug our teeth into that and enjoyed, the whole process. So, yeah, I'm extremely proud of it. I've even put a piece of it on my demo reel.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It was so well done. You were great in it. Everybody was great in it, really.
Yeah. 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 Cause Victoria is really good. Yeah.
I have to tell you, when I was in college, I mean, Black Christmas I told you it's my favorite movie. It has been my favorite movie for a very long time. I saw it when I was maybe 8 or 9 for the first time when it was still Stranger in the House on HBO.
Right.
And then I recorded it on USA Network. I think probably Christmas of '89. They were showing it a lot. And I would show it to my friends in college. I lived at the University of Denver and I went to art school and I finally found it on VHS and we would watch it over and over around Christmas and we wrote a sequel to it.
Huh? Oh,
This was 30 years ago now. And Jess had the baby like she did. But her and, Chris got married. So Chris raised,
Chris, you fickle dude. Yeah.
they helped each other through it. And they got married and they had
Yeah. No, I understand.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a time. Yeah. You were still moldering away in the attic.
Yeah, no, I understand. You always, and people bond over,
Trauma. Yeah. Trauma.
things like that when somebody gets murdered and you go, oh, well, God, there's the boyfriend. I could still marry, Claire's boyfriend. He's still hanging around and he's hunky.
I mean, our both of our boyfriend and girlfriend are dead. So why not?
Yeah, this is how people bond.
But they grew up or they had a son. He was raising Peter's son who went away to school and was on the hockey team like his dad. And they lived in they lived in a different fraternity house, him and the hockey team, but there was something happened, like some sabotage happened and they had to move into 6 Belmont Street. Where his mother was attacked and whatever. And she'd never told him about this. He always thought that Chris was his dad. He didn't know about Peter, but then people start disappearing out of the fraternity. And turns out there's a random guy at the, when they were looking for the little girl in the park.
Right.
And there's one shot and this guy has the worst mustache in history. He's standing with, Claire's father and he's got this mustache that's just like takes up half his face. Well, I decided that he was the hockey coach of Chris's team. He was just a few years older, but he was actually Billy. And they get into the attic and Claire is still up there, but she's like a mummy.
Yeah.
He falls down and Claire goes flying on top of him. And the corpse of Claude is up there too.
Oh boy.
It was so stupid. It was just.
No, I mean, I go, why didn't this get made?
Yeah. Because I didn't have the ambition to be a filmmaker, I guess.
Wow.
But we like one of the things I love about Black Christmas is it's subtle in the killing, just for the unicorn kill, which I wish I'd had enough money to get in on that unicorn, Kickstarter. I just didn't have any money at the time, but. But aside from that, all the killings are very subtle and off screen.
Yeah.
And we went the opposite direction, and it was like a Friday the 13th movie where people
Yeah.
were getting their arms stuck in high-powered blenders and crowbars to the bottom of the jaw and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But they handled it much better, and It's Me, Billy. So,
Well, pretty much. I mean, I thought it was very funny when there was a lot of discussion about the eyeball and the eyeball on the poker. And, and I was going, and when we were going out, I go, well, I can't just like ignore the fact that she runs in and Jess is holding a fireplace poker with an eyeball on the end of it. I mean, and it's like, what do we just kind of go, oh, well, there's the murder weapon. Dip, dip, dip. Anyway, and so there was a lot of discussion about, and I remember them saying, do you remember what color his eye was? And I said, well, of course I remember what color his eye was. And I don't know if Billy had the right color eyes, but he certainly had the right personality. What a wonderful actor he was. Committed to that part like you would not believe. And such a sweetheart too. But yeah, I mean, I think one of the things that I always liked about Black Christmas was that it was more psychological horror than it's what you don't see that scares you rather than seeing a lot of blood and gore, which is where, the genre eventually sort of morphed into. Yeah. I can't even watch Thanksgiving. I can't. I know what's coming. And
what happened to Grandma?
Well, from our lips and minds to Eli Roth's ears, I'm bugging him to put me in the sequel because I said I didn't die. So, I mean, look at all the people you killed, but I'm still around. And, so I'm hoping maybe, he's thinking of having me do another cameo in the sequel, which he is planning right at this moment. Yeah. So, who knows? He could be sneaky that way and do it. I've certainly put it out in the universe.
Maybe you can be the killer this time.
Oh my God, Grandma. Well, that's my it's my hope one day to play a serial killer. You know that. That's, somebody's got to write a script where I'm the serial killer. Not curtains, but I mean now the little old sweet lady who's, brings cookies over to your house poisoned with arsenic and then cuts you up in pieces in her basement next door with all her cats.
There you go.
Yeah, there's people who have, been talking to me about it and, sort of, I keep going, cause I came up with an idea that we could call it, that Grandma, little sweet Grandma likes to do jigsaw puzzles. But with saw being the operative word. So her jigsaw puzzles, after she's like dismembered and cut everybody up into pieces, she then tries to put them back together again, sort of a la Frankenstein, right? She sews all the pieces together and she will call the movie Jigsaw. Anyway.
Grandma's puzzles or something. Yeah.
Yeah. And, I just love the fact. I keep telling people, I have a scissor collection. I've always collected scissors my whole life. So they could come in handy in a movie. I'm sure, they'd have all those scissors and all those knives and all that. She makes a very nice cookie. Very sweet baker. Yeah, so that's a dream. I have a dream. It'll happen.
Or if you stick with the Christmas motif, it could be Christmas cookies.
Like, cause I've played Mrs. Santa.
Yeah.
So why couldn't she be sort of like, absolutely the woman that you love in the neighborhood? Cause every year she makes Christmas cookies, gets them out to the kittywinks. She also probably likes to poison them at Halloween too. So, the idea is just, this thing writes itself.
Yeah. You could do like 4 seasons of Grandma or something, 4 different movies and Easter eggs that are dipped in arsenic.
Hey, I'm willing, ready, and available.
Well, maybe I'll write it.
Okay.
Okay.
Come on, bring it on. That's what I say. I mean, I've tried to put this out into the universe for quite a while now, so I think something's going to come around. It can't just like fester in my mind without being able to actually make this happen.
So I'm still trying to find a copy that's not $150 of the original novelization.
Right, and I know somebody who has one.
That is my Black Christmas holy grail.
I think I actually know someone who has someone, and I'm wondering whether he was there was one thing that we did where he had it there, and I think he was trying to sell it, but I don't think he did.
But
I think
a lot of money. My friend sold one for $140.
Yeah, I think that's what he wanted for his.
Well, I had the file. Somebody they put it on Etsy, and I bought the file for $10. So I've read it, but I mean, I've got to have
you got to have the real thing.
Gotta have it.
Yeah. I mean, don't I ask myself, why didn't I keep this and that and the other? Why didn't I keep that doll from Curtains?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like, come on. They probably trashed it. They probably just went, oh, nobody wants this. I mean, we didn't think back then that, there would be like good stuff to hang on to. I mean, when I did a Stephen King miniseries called Storm of the Century, where they actually made a full dead body of me, like with a full, they did the whole casting and stuff. But at the end of the film, they actually asked me if I wanted it, and I said, "Are you kidding me? Why would I?
Oh,
am I gonna?" And I went. I mean, it seemed like absolutely repulsive at the time to cart home a dead body, and she's like, she's in this horrible position, like she's been strangled or whatever. And I went, I don't know that at the time I thought that would be a nice thing to have around my house.
Yeah.
But then, of course, then I don't know if you've ever looked through, when Guillermo del Toro does, his like little tour of Bleak House.
Uh-huh.
I mean, at one point he brought all that to, the art gallery in Toronto and had a show of all that stuff that he has collected, which is extraordinary. I mean, like it's so extensive. It's ridiculous. It's like it goes on forever, but he kept everything from everything.
Yeah.
And now he has, the ability to create this beautiful exhibit if he wants to, or he just lives with it all.
Yeah. I would give my right arm to talk to him about horror movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just have a conversation, nothing. Just
Sean got very bold when he was with him, because he had, there was, an article done by a friend of ours in Delirium magazine on Slaughter Brothers. And it was really beautifully done and really lovely presented with a lot of photographs. And Sean got up the courage to actually give one of the copies to Guillermo. And Guillermo was very receptive and went, oh, thank you. Nice. Yes. And then I think called him, it turned to Sean and said, you really are a little psycho, aren't you?
Yeah, maybe.
Well, so that's a good thing, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you can't see it, but behind my computer, I've got all my masks and my Bates Motel sign and
oh yeah,
all my horror memorabilia, and then the Star Wars.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a place that I'm going to. It was called. It's in near Oshawa. It's a store that was called Deadly Grounds. It's now called Coffin Creek, I think. Anyway, that's where I'm going. But it is the most wonderful store. That's where I'm doing my Christmas shopping. Mm-hmm. It's a coffee house and horror memorabilia store. And we go there and we just, I sell a few ornaments of my own, and then I spend all the money on groovy stuff for myself and my collections of stuff. But yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, somebody once asked me, what do you think? You might know the answer to it. What do you think it is about people who are so fascinated by this and every little element and like little detail of it, and that they collect and that they respect and have great admiration and almost like an obsession with this genre.
You know, for me, I think it hits at a certain time in your life where it not necessarily even nostalgia, but it just turns on something in your brain at a certain age. Like I said, the first movie that I remember really being fascinated with was Black Christmas, aside from Star Wars. But the first horror movie was Black Christmas, but it was Stranger in the House up until the 90s in the States. And I think it was, for me, it was just that I like to be scared a little bit. And then this happened. I read the Amityville Horror when I was 7 years old. That's what a psychopath I am. And my parents took me to see the movie, you know, a few years later. And I was fascinated with the idea of being scared, but I didn't necessarily love being scared. But so I don't know if that.
So is it because there's a safety involved and there's that one little bit of remove from it? I think I always say to Sean, well, you know, let's watch something really scary and then, you know, our lives won't seem so bad. You know? I mean, yeah, I had a terrible root canal. Let's watch something really horrific. Let's see something really awful happen to somebody else. But is there that little bit of remove? But I mean, I am really fascinated by meeting the fans and their devotion to this genre, which is almost like religious.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. I find it wonderful. I mean, I love theater that much. You know, some people love Scientology. I don't know, but there is a very, distinct characteristic amongst these people. And yet they're all always so incredibly charming. I'm always amazed. Sort of the most, kind of gruesome person that'll come up to you and say something that's really quite gruesome and then say, but you know, my wife and we watch Black Christmas every anniversary on our wedding anniversary.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, apparently Lisa Marie Presley loved it. And
well, I just read her book. Did you see my post?
No,
I just read her book that's called From.
I've got it. It's on my Libby app. I have it on hold to listen to it. So.
Okay. Well, you'll get to, I don't know, page 170. And she actually mentions that Black Christmas and that they watched it as a family every Christmas.
Awesome.
Like that they also watched Jaws and that they would go to the places where they would feel like they were actually in the environment of the movie that they were watching and then they would watch. But yeah, evidently like Elvis's favorite Christmas movie. Yeah, but she actually does mention it. What is the book called now? I can't remember now. From Here to whatever. Anyway, it's a wonderful book. I just read it. Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, I've got, according to my Libby app, it's 4 weeks out, but that doesn't mean anything because I love Dolly Parton, but her book with James Patterson was unreadable.
Oh, really? I haven't read that. See, I'm really big on reading these memoirs. I actually got mine like really fast from the library, but I'm one of those people that the minute I see a new book has come out, I zap a hold on it at the library and, you know, the copies aren't even in the library yet. They're on order. So I get like a jump on things, but I really, really wanted to read that because I've been actually really fascinated with Riley Keough too after watching, Daisy Jones and the Six. I thought she was so wonderful in it. And there's another movie I really want to see of hers called Under the Bridge, but I don't get Hulu. But I think she's fascinating, and it's interesting the way the book is put together. That it really is her transcribing a lot of Lisa Marie's tapes. Lisa Marie had done a lot of already taping what she wanted to put in the book, and then Riley has sort of transcribed it and then switches back, and it actually even in a different font in the book
Oh,
to
really?
when it's her talking as opposed to when it's Lisa Marie talking.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's a very interesting book. Yeah.
I have the audiobook. Since I draw, I listen to a lot of audiobooks while I draw.
Yeah.
And I feel like I kind of absorb it a little better. And I'm interested to see how they do that.
I like it too when, because I listened when I was shooting Priscilla. I listened to Priscilla Presley's book as an audio book, and because she narrates it. I mean, if it's narrated by the author, it just seems. I mean, Barbara Streisand's is the best. If you listen to Barbara Streisand's as an audio book, I mean, Jesus Christ, it's a 2,000-page book. It's like, it's like holding the Holy Grail on your lap, trying to read it. But as an audio book, because she keeps bringing in all these little clips of her singing from all different stages of her career.
And actually, when the first time we met in person was last year, I was listening to that on the way home from there. And I was just, I didn't want it. I got it from Audible. I didn't buy it. I used one of my credits, and I didn't want it to end.
I know.
I would listen to a couple chapters, and then I would listen to, one of my trash books, and then I would go back, and it took me about 3 months to listen to the whole thing.
Oh yeah, no, it's a long, because I started reading it and I got to about halfway through and I was like, I like to read in bed. Yeah. And it was really hard to hold that book up after a certain period of time. I was going, and then I had actually put a hold on Audible, for, the audio book. And then when I realized, oh my God, she's actually then like, it's breaking into song. It's just so heavenly. And I, had incredible, newly formed, devotion to Barbara Streisand from that. I think people who record their own audiobooks are brilliant. It must be very tricky to do.
Oh yeah.
It must be emotionally draining.
The Cher one just came out.
Yeah, I've got that on hold.
And I listened to that. And
oh yeah.
What's interesting about that is Cher's dyslexic and she has a really hard time reading. So what she does is she reads the first couple pages of a chapter, and then the lady who played her in the Cher show on stage in the theater, she comes in and reads it, and a lot of times you just can't even tell until it's the next chapter, and then Cher comes on and reads the first couple pages.
Oh,
I saw the Cher show, she was phenomenal in that on stage.
Wow.
And it's really, really well done the way they kind of blend it.
Yeah.
She after the introduction, she comes on, she goes, oh yeah, by the way, I'm not going to read this whole thing, but
Well, now that's interesting because with, Riley Keough's book, I'm wondering whether she reads the transcript.
Yeah, I don't know.
Whether she plays the actual transcript and then she just speaks her parts of it.
Whether she can tell you when I get it.
Yeah. Because obviously Lisa Marie recorded all this stuff, and I'm sure Riley was doing a lot of editing as well, but, that would be phenomenal to actually hear it in Lisa Marie's own words, her own voice. Wow. Wow.
The movie The Lodge. Have you seen the movie The Lodge with Riley Keough?
No.
Oh, it's really good. It's very, very dark, but.
Oh, good. Okay.
Especially on a snowy night or something, because they're stuck in.
Yeah. Well, which we're going to have many of evidently recently. We're just about to get walloped.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we've been really lucky. It's been terrible all around us, but we're in this little pocket, I guess, in Toronto, where we haven't had, anywhere like South Buffalo and then going north into where, Northern Ontario, it's been, highway closing kind of records of snow, but we've only had a little bit of it. So we've been very lucky. We somehow are in this lake effect, whatever it is, that we don't get the big, but evidently they're saying, it's coming. I keep saying to Sean, make soup, get provisions. We're going to have to bivouac. We're never going to be able to open the door. It's going to be too much snow.
I have never been to Toronto, but I keep saying I want to come to Toronto, but I'm going to have to come when it's like fall, not when it's...
Oh, it's very pretty in fall. Yeah. It's my favorite time. And spring. Spring is lovely too, but summer's too hot.
Yeah.
But yeah, well,
hot in the summer. Let's do a Black Christmas tour when I come.
Okay. Sounds fun. I know where the police station is now.
Yeah.
I've been there. They said, do you remember? And I go, that was 50 years ago. But it was fun being in there, and and it's still the same. It still looks the same.
Believe 50 years later, you're still talking about this little indie movie?
Sorry, what?
I said, can you believe that 50 years later, you're still talking about it?
No. It's, and it's not only just, it's like, we could be talking about it, but I'm just amazed at how well it lived up to, cause I don't think any of us had any idea that it would be, like this revered. I don't know what the word is, but that it's still for so many people so meaningful, and we had obviously no idea. But I'm delighted, and I'm delighted to keep promoting it. I'm kind of the voices that are actually still talking about it are getting fewer and fewer, and I think I'm taking on the responsibility of being able to keep a lot of interest going in the film, because
you definitely do.
Yeah, but it's my pleasure. It's my honor to actually do that.
I remember when it was just on TV, and we saw it at the video store, and I'm like, that's that movie. That's the movie I'm looking for. And I have told everybody for years, and it's finally, like, in the last 15 years has really reached that like masterpiece status.
Yeah. And I think that's, due to the fact that, DVD, Blu-ray, that it just is not much more available to people. And they did such a lovely sort of re-release of it over the years when they started issuing all different kind of versions of it with special features and stuff. I think, it's just grown exponentially over the years. And now with it being 50, it's like, wow. How much longer can I do this?
Another 20 years,
I hope so, from your lips to God's ears.
I fell for you when you and Art Bill did Black Christmas Revisited.
Oh, yeah.
Locations and stuff. And I was just like, I wish she was my mom or my aunt, or now you're just my emotional support Canadian.
That's good. That's good. I can do that.
You may have to adopt me. I may have to.
Oh, well, anyone who wants, with the way your country is going and where it's heading in 2025, I may be adopting quite a few Americans.
You'll have a little brood.
Yeah, a little brood that I just have up here, and we'll all kind of get together and start making horror films together.
Oh, I would love that.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have a little kind of conclave. And, you have to prove your loyalty to Black Christmas in order to be a part of it.
I'll show up in my sweater with my prince.
There you go. Well, you're already in. You know that. You're probably the chief. You're the CEO.
Of all the people, like, I've talked to a few people over the years, and I kind of feel like there's probably 4 or 5 of us that love the movie the way we do. And, pretty
I think there's more, but I've certainly met my fair share. Yeah. And maybe that I haven't watched it 50 times. Maybe.
At least.
At least. See, I haven't watched it 50 times.
Well,
I'd say maybe I'm up to at least half of that.
You're too busy, though. You work constantly.
Well, thank God, knock on wood, that it keeps happening and people keep wanting to hire me. Yeah, it's been a crazy fall because I went to conventions in Las Vegas and New Jersey. And I mean, I'm going to do a couple next year already, or already lined up. I'm going to go back to Chiller, hopefully, and do Cinema Wasteland. But I really enjoy it. I mean, I love doing it. And I just, it's.
You have, ever get, the hankering to rope in Olivia and Andrea? I think you guys could make $1 million.
Oh, well, we could. That's the problem, is that they don't want to.
Yeah.
Don't think we haven't tried. Don't think we haven't tried. Yeah, because, my rep has been trying to get Olivia out. And then like 2 years ago, she did Chiller because she was promoting her book, The Girl on the Balcony.
I listened to that too.
Yeah. And she evidently, I mean, they said she could have probably, I don't know, bought New Jersey out, entirely owned New Jersey from what she made on that Chiller appearance. But Andrea is very personable. I just don't know that. I mean, what I found funny about Olivia's book is there's like you reading it and reading it. And yes, of course, it's fascinating to read all the stuff about Zeffirelli and Romeo and Juliet. But then you come to the little sort of half of a page where she mentions Black Christmas. I don't think she had any idea when she actually, because, according to my rep, when he was trying to talk her into doing more, but I don't think she had any idea how many people really loved her in Black Christmas and really would love to be able to, chat with her and meet with her. But I think she, I think she's shy and, it's just, she kind of sticks close to home. I mean, we couldn't drag her up to Canada to do It's Me, Billy, but, I don't know. I mean, because Art Hindle doesn't want to do them anymore, and he and I used to do them together all the time.
Yeah.
But I mean, everybody gets old and insular and comfy, sitting on their couch and whatever, except for Lynne Griffin, who's always saying yes. My husband says, you should learn how to say no. I said, as far as Black Christmas, I can't. I try sometimes to just go no. And then I go, why, what is it? It's no skin off my nose. It's like, I should be so lucky to be representing it in some way and keeping it alive. I mean, I think some art forms and some things that you do, you feel a responsibility to bring it on and into the next generations. You feel a responsibility to actually make sure that it doesn't just fade away.
I talked to John Saxon years ago, 20 years ago, at a Nightmare on Elm Street reunion that my friend took me to. And I love Nightmare on Elm Street, don't get me wrong, but we ended up talking for a good 45 minutes just about Black Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
And he was just, because everybody was, I loved you in Nightmare on Elm Street. And I said, I loved you in Nightmare on Elm Street, but I want to talk about Black Christmas. And he,
yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And just talked about Bob Clark and talked about and Margot. And, I met her once. It was during some of her troubles, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I said, she was doing something in Chicago, Wizard World or something. And she there and had all her Superman stuff. And I said, do you have any Black Christmas pictures? And she goes, why would I have Black Christmas pictures? Nobody watched that movie.
Excuse me?
That's my favorite movie. And she goes, really? And I'm like, yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Isn't that funny? Cause I'm always really surprised when someone will come up to me with a poster and they actually have Olivia's signature, Margot's signature, John Saxon's. I mean, they have these and they've been holding on to this poster for so long, trying to actually, complete the puzzle and get everyone's signature on it. But there have been a couple that have shown up with Margot's signature on.
Yeah,
It's just pretty amazing.
I think, towards the end of her life, she had, been on medication and was doing.
Yeah. But I think, I mean, until, I mean, it wasn't on my radar until, I don't know when, but somebody actually, I think it's when I first joined Facebook, whenever that was. And somebody said, "Are you the girl who plays Claire in Black Christmas?" And I said, "Yeah." And then all of a sudden it was like that kind of went, whoa, like that. And people were like, there she is all over. But, I mean, Black Christmas was certainly not on our radar for years. It laid, I mean, who knew? I didn't know that Elvis was watching it and Quentin Tarantino was watching it. We didn't know that. It wasn't until sort of the social media just exploded that all of a sudden it had this life. Hi, Shawnee. So while you're here, could you hand me I really want to show Jeff.
You must.
Yeah, I must. I hope I can get it close enough to show him. Da, da, da. Da, da, da.
Oh my God. That's amazing.
Look at it. The detail is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then the whole packaging.
Wow. That is so cool.
I know. I literally wept a little bit and peed a little bit.
Well, that's to be expected.
Well, what are you going to do? It is 50 years ago, right? So.
It's amazing.
But yeah, I mean, anyway, I just wanted to make sure so that I didn't have to get up, and now Sean's home. So that's good. I was able to get him. Oh, we could show the painting that somebody did too, Shawnee. Oh, yeah, because we have some curtains things up there. The bobblehead and the painting from curtains. I just like the things that you get that fans give you. It's really quite, what are you going to do? Okay.
You have to present her very
carefully, yes.
And in a special way.
Oh my.
This is my friend Jim Burrell who makes these bobblehead dolls. I think her head's kind of, I don't know whether she bobbles that much anymore. She's been around a while. And then this is from New Jersey.
Oh, that's cool.
And there is actually a guy who's actually making this mask again, trying to. I mean, he keeps showing me how he's been working on doing that mask as well. So that's pretty awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
Were you ice skating under that mask?
Yes, of course. I don't know. So many people ask me that, and I go, "Do I look like an ice skater? Does Leslie look like an ice skater?" Poor Leslie, She studied for months to learn to ice skate that. The first day that they shot, she fell and hit her chin. So if you watch the movie carefully, you'll see she's got a little ding on her chin, little bloody ding on her chin. So they had to use the double, but that's too bad. Yeah, I mean, I love the fact that, these two images of, if you want a picture of me, you want this, or you want the bag on the head.
Yeah. Right?
So it's way, 2025. Is that really where we're at? Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Will bring us, interesting and new and creative work to do.
I hope so.
Inspiring work to do, things that we're proud of.
I have a few things that, like writing wise that I'm kind of doing that if I do get this new position, it'll enable me to do a lot of that stuff too. So, I can start.
Oh, well.
I think you might.
Oh, okay. And it was funny when I was in Chicago, and I guess I got a bunch of your stickers. If you actually go to that hotel, I put the hotel where we were staying. I can't remember what it was called, fancy one, but they had the whole elevator was full of stickers, and I put one of your stickers up in that elevator.
Hi.
Yeah. What was that hotel called? I don't know in Chicago. It was a fancy, like, I don't know, boutique hotel. I just remember it was across from the Trader Joe's.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, if you go in the elevator, you'll see one of your stickers is there.
Okay. I'm hoping to go up to Chicago, before Christmas to see this.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know if you've ever spent any time in Chicago, but
I'd love to spend more time in Chicago. I tell you, we loved it. We just loved it.
the Lincoln Park Zoo does, zoo lights. Every holiday season. And
nice.
I used to go with my best friend Eric, and we just go walk around. And the first time we ever went, that was like the best time because we went downtown. They have a Chris Kindle market, did a little bit of shopping there, and then we took the bus up to the zoo lights. And just as we got there, it started to snow, and all the lights. It was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's if you ever get the chance. But
I'll
have to.
I can't. Yeah, I can't believe we were there like a year ago for our anniversary. It just seems so wild when all of a sudden it was like, oh yeah, that's where we spent our anniversary last year. Okay, great. Oh yeah.
Great talking to you. Thank you for doing this.
All right. You bet. Love you, Jeff.
Love you. Have a great holiday, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, love.
Bye
Bye for now.
Bye.
Au revoir.